to be in Joshua 22. And for those of you who like mark your Bible and stuff, you're like, wait a minute, we didn't do Joshua 21. We're not really going to do Joshua 21. I'm going to give you a quick review of it, a summation. Joshua 21 is about allocating the land to the cities to the Levites. And so they get a bunch of cities allocated to them, and out of those cities that they get, some of those are designated as the sanctuary cities that people can run to. And that's pretty much what 21 goes through. We'll pick up in chapter 21, verse 41. That kind of sums it all up. All the cities of the Levites within the possession of the children of Israel were 48 cities with their suburbs. These cities were every one with their suburbs round about them. Thus were all these cities. And Yahweh gave unto Israel all the land which he sware to give unto their fathers, and they possessed it and dwelt therein. Now, in verse 43 in scriptures or whatever Bible you guys are reading other than King James, does it say Yahweh gave unto Israel all the, does it say land?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Is it capitalized?
No.
Mine's capitalized in King James, and I just noticed that, so I didn't look into that. Which he sware unto their fathers, and they possessed it and dwelt therein. 44, and Yahweh gave them rest round about, according to all that he sware unto their fathers, and there stood not a man of all their enemies before them. So finally, rest. And Yahweh delivered all their enemies into their hand. There failed not aught of any good thing which Yahweh had spoken into the house of Israel. All came to pass. All right, so now they possess the promised land. And they've kind of defeated the enemies, and everyone can rest. We pick up in 22. Then Joshua called the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half-tribe of Manasseh. Remember them? They're the ones that already have land all the way on the other side of the Jordan, but they were told, yeah, you get your land first. You can settle your people and your animals, but now you're going to come fight for your brethren until we're done. You can go back. So now they're done. So he calls them, and he says unto them, ye have kept all that Moshe, the servant of Yahweh, commanded you, and have obeyed my voice in all that I commanded you. You have not left your brethren these many days unto this day, but ye have kept charge of the commandment of Yahweh your Elohim. And now Yahweh your Elohim has given rest unto your brethren, as he promised them. Therefore now return ye, and get you unto your tents, and unto the land of your possession, which Moshe, the servant of Yahweh, gave to you on the other side of Jordan. So Joshua calls them together, and he doesn't just tell them, all right, we're done, you guys can go back. He gives them a little good job. Attaboy, you guys did good. You did everything you said you were going to do. You did all the things you promised and swore to do. And so now you can go back to your families and to your land. And if you think about it, it had to be pulling them, right? It's like I could go back there and have peace and be with my family, but instead I'm out here fighting because I have to for the brethren. So you can go back. 5. So he told them, good job. Now he's going to give them a charge. He's going to give them instructions. He's going to give them tasks to do. But take diligent heed. We're going to read this and come back. Take diligent heed to do the commandment and Torah, says the law, which Moshe, the servant of Yahweh, charged you, to love Yahweh your Elohim, and to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and to cleave unto him, and serve him with all your heart and with all your soul. So Joshua blessed them and sent them away, and they went unto their tents. Their charge is interesting. I actually wrote it in the margin of my Bible. It has several parts. The first part is to do the commands. I think it says be diligent to do the demands. Take diligent heed to do, but that's just make sure you pay attention to do the commandments of Yah. So he's telling them, if you think about it, it's like the bulk of Israel is all together over here on this side of Jordan, and we're letting you guys go off kind of on your own, kind of not with the rest of Israel. And so when you're away from the body, things can slip. And so that's why he's telling them, hey, make sure you guys pay diligent heed to do the commandments of Yahweh. And then he says, love Yahweh. So not only do the commandments, but love the Lord your God. So that's the second thing. And that reminded me of, it's in Ephesians 5:25. You don't have to turn there. I'll just read it to you. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave his life to it. Okay, here he's saying love Yahweh. And then here we hear Paul saying, hey, love your wives, just like Christ who loved the church. All of a sudden, love is not just some feeling that, well, I'm just not in love anymore. We've fallen out of love. It's a command. It doesn't matter what you feel. He's like, love God. That's a command. Love the Lord thy God with all. What are the two greatest commandments? The first is love the Lord thy God with all the heart, and all the soul, and all the might. The second is like unto it. Love your neighbor as yourself. And then here we see husbands, love your wives. That tells us, Kate and I have been watching this show on Netflix. She watched it first, called Shtizzle.
Or Shtizzle.
It's about like Orthodox Jews in Jerusalem, like modern times. And they have like arranged marriages, facilitated marriages, very controlled marriages, I would say. And they're basically like, one subject was like, don't worry about loving her or not, just marry her, you'll love her. There's a lot of truth to that, because we can choose who we love. See, that's the thing, I don't think modern world gets that. They're like, well, I'm just not in love. Well, be in love. Love your wife, Christ loved the church, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and all thy soul, love thy neighbor. Those are commands. Those aren't like, well, if you feel like it, love them. So I just thought that was interesting. It's a different take on love, I think, than we think as modern Americans. Then another command is walk in the way. So not only do you remember Torah and keep the commands, but you have to walk in the way. And I believe this is all this walk in his ways, walk in the way, when you're walking down the way. All of this is foreshadowing Yeshua, the Messiah, right? Walk in the way. He is the way, the truth, and the life. Keep his commandments. Do you guys have guard in one of your books, right? Because it's a different connotation, and guard is better. Guard the commandments, see that you guard them, which means you protect them, which means you kind of have something to say when other people aren't keeping the commandments, right? You're guarding the commandments for Yah. Cleave unto him and serve him. So do, love, walk, keep, cleave, serve. That's a lot of stuff he's telling them to do as he's sending them off on their own. And they're all focused on Yah. Stay focused on Yah. You guys are going over there. You've done a good job. Go over there. But let me tell you something. Stay focused on Yah. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way. He's being serious about it. So I think that's interesting. So he blessed them and they went to their tents. Now, to the one half tribe of Manasseh, Moshe had given possession in Bashan, but unto the other half thereof gave Joshua among their brethren on this side of the Jordan westward. Because remember, Manasseh split, right? And when Joshua sent them away also unto their tents, then he blessed them. And he spake unto them, saying, return with much riches unto your tents, and with very much cattle, and silver, and gold, and brass, and with iron, and with very much raiment. Divide the spoil of your enemies with your brethren. So he's making sure the tribe of Manasseh, even though they're going to be split in half by this river, that they're kind of even up the spoils before they go. Because there could be some human indication, well, you guys are kind of leaving and going over there, so we're going to kind of keep stuff for ourselves. It's like, nope, split that stuff up, make it equal. So they're all kind of going back rich. And the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half tribe of Manasseh returned. So they went to the other side of the Jordan River, the east side. And they departed from the children of Israel out of Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan, to go unto the country of Gilead, to the land of their possession, whereof they were possessed according to the word of Yahweh by the hand of Moshe. So they're going home. And when they came unto the borders of Jordan, that are in the land of Canaan, the children of Reuben, so they've just kind of crossed the border. It's like the borderlands, the dividing between the two around the river Jordan. The children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh built there an altar by Jordan, by the Jordan River, a great altar to see to. And so they built this huge altar that was good to look at. People could see it. And it was like, wow, that's an impressive altar. And this is an interesting bit of scripture here. And the children of Israel heard say, behold, the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh have built an altar over against the land of Canaan in the borders of Jordan and the passage of the children of Israel. So basically right where they crossed the river Jordan to go into their part of Israel, the first part, they built this huge altar. That was nice to look at. And the other Israelites find out about it, and they're talking about it. And when the children of Israel heard of it, the whole congregation of the children of Israel gathered themselves together at Shiloh to go up to war against them. The children of Israel, which is the main bulk of Israel, hears that these people, when they went back and crossed Jordan, built this huge altar, and they get together and they're like, oh, heck no, we're going to go kill them. Now, they just said goodbye to them. I mean, it just happened, because as soon as they get over there, they build this altar. So it wasn't that long ago, and they helped them conquer the whole promised land, if you will, for their place. They go back home, they build this altar, and they're mad. Why are they mad? Let's go to Leviticus chapter 17. Go back. That's Numbers. Leviticus chapter 17, verses 8 and 9. So this is beforehand, right? And thou shalt say unto them, whatsoever man there be in the house of Israel, or of the strangers which sojourn among you, that offereth a burnt offering or sacrifice, and bringeth it not unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, to offer it unto Yahweh, even that man shall be cut off from among the people. There's one place to make the offerings, and that's at the place designated by Yah. Now here in Leviticus, they're here with the tabernacle. Tabernacle moves, right? Well, now they're in Shiloh, and Israel as large. On the other side of the Jordan, they send these 2.5 tribes back home, and here they are building an altar to do slaughter. This is what the Israelites are thinking, to do slaughter and to make these offerings. You can't do it there. You don't get to decide we're doing it here. You've got to come to where the altar is at the tabernacle. You don't get to make your own. And there was a thing going around the Israelite community, if you will, a few years ago, where people were building altars and actually sacrificing their, I don't know how they phrased it. They were killing critters on these altars and dedicating them to Yah. And I said, no, you can't do that. It can only be done on the altar. Well, there is no altar. The temple was destroyed. I said, that's right. Temple's within us, so you're not doing that anymore. There's other reasons you don't do it also. But I'm like, no, you can't be doing this. Well, here it says you're cut off from Israel if you do this thing. And that's what the rest of Israel's mad about. They know that. They know the law. They're like, you can't just be building altars willy-nilly. I think it says in the scriptures, slaughter places or something like that. And so they're like, let's go to war. That's it. Now think about this. How fervent is their faith? This is their brethren. These are the people that helped them seize the promised land. Matter of fact, they went first. These are the people who they probably said, yeah, you guys, you did us a good one. Thanks a lot, take care. But man, there's certain lines you just cannot cross. And besides that, Joshua told you guys to make sure you honor and serve Yahweh, and now you're over there building this altar? What the heck? Let's go kill them. I mean, that's basically what they do. Verse 13. And the children of Israel sent unto the children of Reuben, and to the children of Gad, and to the half-tribe of Manasseh, unto the land of Gilead, Phineas, the son of Eleazar the priest, and with him 10 princes of each chief house a prince throughout all the tribes of Israel, and each one was a head of the house of their fathers among the thousands of Israel. We're going to read about Phineas some more here in a little bit, but this is the power council that they're setting. They're setting the heads of the tribes, of each of the tribes, in the main part of Israel, and Phineas. Phineas is the son of Eleazar. Eleazar is the chief priest, but Phineas, he's getting old. Eleazar's getting old. Matter of fact, in a couple chapters, he's going to die. Phineas has been acting as, if you will, the deputy high priest in his father's stead, because dad's getting too old to do these things. So Phineas is leading this congregation, representing, if you will, his father, the high priest. So it's the high priest and the heads of the tribes are all going to see what the heck is going on here. If you think about that, The whole congregation of Israel is in an uproar. They want to go kill these guys. Wiser heads prevail, and they're like, you know what? We're going to go talk to them about it before we kill them. And we're not just going to go talk to them. We're not just sending Shlomo to go see what's going on. We're sending the power council, right? We're sending the best and biggest that we have to go talk to them. 10 princes, so 10 tribes plus Phineas. And they came unto the children of Reuben, unto the children of Gad, and to the half-tribe of Manasseh, and to the land of Gilead, and they spake with them, saying, Thus saith the whole congregation of Yahweh. So everybody back there on the other side is saying, what trespass is this that you have committed against the Elohim of Israel, to turn away this day from following Yahweh, and that ye have built you an altar that you might rebel this day against Yahweh? What has gotten into you guys? What are you doing? You're turning against everybody. Is it the iniquity of Peor too little for us, from which we are not cleansed unto this day, although there was a plague in the congregation of Yahweh? Let's go look at that again. Let's go to Numbers 25, 1 and 2. Numbers 25. Because we haven't touched on this for a while. What happened in Peor? Numbers 25. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab, the Moabites. They were pagans. And they called the people unto sacrifices of their gods. And the people did eat and bowed down to their gods. So see, they're sprinkled in amongst the Moabites. The men find the Moabite women attractive. They start hanging out with them and laying with them. And these women are leading Israelite men astray to the point that they're making sacrifices to their gods and other things. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor. Now the deal is this. Who does Yah hate? Baal. He hates Baal and Baal worship and all that stuff. Peor is kind of like the mountain where they worship Baal. And so Israel is joined with these people, and they're basically worshiping Baal. And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Israel. And I guess I'll just keep reading. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Take all the heads of the people and hang them up before Yahweh against the sun, that the fierce anger of Yahweh may be turned away from Israel. And Moshe said unto the judges of Israel, Slay every one his men that were joined unto Baal Peor. And behold, the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moshe, and in the sight of the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So there's a lot of this badness going on. And then here's where Phineas makes a name for himself. Phineas, the son of Eleazar, who's leading this delegation, if you will. This is when he kind of comes onto the radar. And when Phineas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw what was going on, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. He's like, that's it, I've had it. He picks up his javelin and he starts moving out. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. Now this tent was a special ceremonial tent. It's the only time this word is used in the Hebrew in the Bible, and it was basically a whorehouse. I mean, that's basically what it was. And he's like, I've had it. And when it says he thrust them through, he did one strike, and he got them both through the belly, so you can figure that part out for yourself. And those that died in the plague were 20 and 4,000. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Phineas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, has turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while he was zealous for my sake among them, that I consume not the children of Israel in my jealousy. Wherefore, behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace, and he shall have it, and his seed after him, even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his God, his Elohim, and he made atonement for the children of Israel. Yahweh recognized Phineas's righteous indignation, anger, and action that he took. And he killed an Israelite when he did it. but it was righteous. It was righteous killing. And so if we go back to Joshua, this is the guy who's been acting as the high priest. He wasn't then. He was just a dude whose dad was the high priest. This is the guy who's now leading this congregation. And he's saying, hey, is the iniquity of Peor too little from which we are not cleansed unto this day? Do you want to bring another plague? When he's saying those words, he's got to be scaring people, because he's the one that made the iniquity at Peor stop. And he did that by killing another Israelite with the javelin. And so they're like, uh-oh, he's getting their attention. But that ye must turn away this day from following Yahweh? Is that what you guys are doing? I mean, I can't understand where your guys' head is at, is what he's saying. And it will be, seeing you rebel today against Yahweh, that tomorrow he will be wroth with the whole congregation of Israel. See, it's a theme. We've hit this in the last couple weeks. Keep your camp clean. Don't allow bad stuff in your camp. This is not allowing bad stuff in all of Israel. It's like, yeah, you guys came over here to the other side of the river, and you're doing this stuff, but you know what? It's going to reflect on all of Yah's people. All of us are going to suffer the wrath of Yah because of what you guys are doing. There's that phrase that was popular about a year ago. Well, it stands for, it was just the initials, where we go one, we go all. WWG1, WGA, whatever. It was like a little code phrase on the internet. We go one, we go all. Well, it's kind of like where we screw up one, we screw up all, right? Is what happens. And so Phineas is like, what are you guys doing? We're not going to let this stand. Just like I stopped it at Peor and stopped the father from killing more people, guess what, gang? I'm going to stop it here too. So what are you thinking? At least he's giving them a chance to explain. At least they didn't just line up the armies on the one side of Jordan and say, go across and kill everybody because we won't have this in the camp. So there's something to be learned there too. Because this isn't going to turn out like so far it's been set up. What we think we're seeing here may not be what we're seeing. But what I think I'm seeing is serious enough that I'm here and I'm telling you, you're in trouble, potentially in trouble. So, notwithstanding the land of your possession be unclean, we just talked about that, then pass ye over into the land of Yahweh, wherein Yahweh's tabernacle dwells, and take possession among us. But rebel not against Yahweh, nor rebel against us, and building you an altar besides the altar of Yahweh our Elohim. So here's the other thing. He's not just like, what the heck are you doing? What are you thinking? Implying that war is coming and death to all you infidels, basically, is coming. He's like, look, if it's because the land here is unclean and whatever is happening here, you can leave it and come in and live with us. This was not an insignificant thing. We just kind of went over. We skipped over a lot of it. You get from here to here to here to here to here to here. It was important to the Israelites where their boundaries were of their land. It mattered to them. And remember, the one group is like, we need a little bit more land, so we're going to go up here and seize this. And other people came to Joshua and said, give us more land. He goes, take the land you have. So they didn't have an abundance of land. And here's Joshua telling 2.5 tribes, look, we'll make room for you. You can come in, we'll give you land here. It's okay if that's what it takes. So he's trying to, I said Joshua, Phineas, he's trying to work this out. He's not going to guns right away. 20. Not only did Achan, the son of Zerah, commit a trespass in the accursed thing, and wrath fell upon all the congregation of Israel. Remember, we read about that with Ai. He kept some gold, some silver, some nice garments. That's in Joshua chapter 7. And all the wrath came, and that man perished not alone in his iniquity. Then the children of Reuben and the children of Gad, so he said his bit, now it's their turn to respond. And the children of Gad and the half-tribe Manasseh answered, and they said unto the heads of the thousands of Israel. Now it says in the King James, the Lord God of gods, the Lord God of gods. What he said was El Elohim Yahweh, El Elohim Yahweh. They are calling on the name of Yah. They're basically doing a on steroids mix of, as God is my witness. Right? That's kind of what they're saying. That's why they're called the name of. They're like, "Lo, listen to us." as God is my witness, and he knows, and Israel he shall know, if it be in rebellion or if it be in transgression against Yahweh, save us not this day. So they're saying, look, if we are rebelling against Israel, or if we are rebelling against Yahweh, let him strike me down right now if what I'm saying is not true. That's another phrase that we've heard before, right? Let lightning strike me out of the sky if what I'm saying is not true. That's what they're saying. They're calling on the name of Yah, and they're saying, look, if we're transgressing against the Father, if we're transgressing against Israel, kill us this day. That we have built us an altar to turn from following Yahweh, or if to offer thereon burnt offering or meat offering, or if to offer peace offerings thereon, let Yahweh himself require it. They're saying, look, if we built this altar to do any of these offerings or sacrifices or anything on, let God kill us right now. That's what they're saying. So now the people that came to talk to them are going, well, then why do you have this altar? If you're saying that, because it's an altar, man. That's what we do on altars. We kill things on altars. And the pagans had altars too. And if we have not rather done it for fear of this thing, saying, and so now they're explaining why they do it. In time to come, your children might speak unto our children, saying, what have you to do with Yahweh, God of Israel? See, what they're worried about is now that they're on the other side of the Jordan River, they're worried that the bulk of Israel, maybe a couple generations from now, will look at them and go, you're not real Israelites because you live over there. We live here in the Promised Land. You live over there. You're not real Israelites. And so they're worried about that. They're kind of looking into the future. For Yahweh has made Jordan a border between us and you. You children of Reuben and you children of Gad, you have no part in Yahweh. So shall your children make our children cease from fearing Yahweh. So they're saying, hey, we're worried about being over here cut off by this river on our own. And we're worried that you guys, generations from now, are not going to accept us as true Israelites. Therefore, verse 26, we said, let us now prepare to build an altar, not for burnt offerings, not for sacrifice, but that we may be it may be a witness between us and you and our generations after us, that we might do service to Yahweh before him with our burnt offerings and with our sacrifices and with our peace offerings, that your children may not say to our children in time to come, you have no part in Yahweh. Therefore said we, that it shall be when they should say to us, or to our generations in time to come, that we may say again, behold, the pattern of the altar of Yahweh, which our fathers made, not for burnt offerings, nor for sacrifices, but as a witness between us and you. They are setting up this beautiful big altar just to show that we believe in the altar, which is over there in Shiloh right now, which is over there on the other side of the Jordan where all you guys are. But look, we're part of you. We have the same thing. But they're being very clear right there. We're not sacrificing on this. We're not doing any of this peace offerings or anything like that. We know that it's over there, but we want to build this here so that our generations after us can say, look, our people are so faithful, they built this to show you guys what it is. A witness between us and you. 29. Elohim forbid that we should rebel against Yahweh and turn this day from following Yahweh, to build an altar for burnt offerings, for meat offerings, for sacrifices, besides the altar of Yahweh, our Elohim, that is before his tabernacle. It's like, hey, Yahweh forbid we're going to build an altar for these things other than the one we already have at the tabernacle. That was not our intention. So they've explained themselves. 30. And when Phineas the priest and the princes of the congregation and the heads of the thousands of Israel, which were with him, heard the words that the children of Reuben, the children of Gad, and the children of Manasseh spake, it pleased them. They're like, we get it. Okay. Probably also happy they don't have to go kill their brothers. And Phineas, the son of Eleazar, the priest, said unto the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and to the children of Manasseh, this day we perceive that Yahweh is among us, because you have not committed this trespass against Yahweh. Now ye have delivered the children of Israel out of the hand of Yahweh. Whew. Basically what he's saying, it was close, guys. We were here just to hear what you had to say, and then it was coming. He goes, we're so thankful that this is why you guys did what you did and delivered us all, really, from the wrath of Yah. And Phineas, the son of Eleazar, the priest, and the princes returned from the children of Reuben and from the children of Gad, out of the land of Gilead, unto the land of Canaan, to the children of Israel, and they brought them word again. So they came back and explained it. And this thing pleased the children of Israel. And the children of Israel blessed Elohim, and did not intend to go up against them in battle, to destroy the land wherein the children of Reuben and Gad dwelt. And the children of Reuben and the children of Gad called the altar Ed, which means witness. For it shall be a witness between us that Yahweh is Elohim. Interesting story, right? I think the thing we can get from this is understanding. I mean, in this story is the fervency of people who are totally focused on Yah. It starts out with the admonition by Joshua: follow the commands, stay in the way, love the Lord, be not vehement. What's the word? Be very strong in the Lord with the power of his might. So it starts with that. Then we go back to they're building this altar, and Israel, in the main, is like, oh, heck no, we're going to go wipe them off the face of the earth because they're very strong in Yahweh and in his commands, and they're not going to tolerate their brethren doing this nonsense. So that's the strength of Yah. And then when Phineas shows up, he brings people to mind of what he did in Peor, which again is being very strong in Yahweh, up to killing people for it, to make sure we stay in the left and right limits. But he lets them speak. See, that right there is a lesson. It's easy to get all fired up, and the mob, the mass, the congregation of Israel is like, let's go kill them. And the leaders could have said, yeah, let's go. And they could have just attacked, because clearly this is some pagan altar that these guys are building. But they didn't. Cooler heads prevailed. The elders of the thousands and of the tribes and Phineas himself go, and they say, all right, explain yourself. That's an important thing. Let's talk. We can always fight tomorrow. Let's talk today. And when they explain themselves, it's like, oh, we misunderstood your intentions. That can happen. It is easy to misunderstand people's intentions. This is why, bringing this down to a personal level, if I have something against Brother Sam, because he's doing something that's clearly pagan or whatever, we actually had a situation like this in our church, in our congregation. I don't go to him and say, man, do you see what Sam's doing, all this garbage, man? We need to kick him out of this church. No. It's like, no. If you got a problem with your brother, what do? You go talk to your brother. And you're like, hey, man, what's up? At that point, he would probably say, if we're doing this altar thing, oh, no, dude, that's not what this is. This is just this. They all stirred up. And that was what happened here. They all got stirred up. The older guys say, well, we're going to go talk to him first. This is what it looks like. This is what we think you're doing. But we are going to let you explain yourself. And when they did, it all worked out to everyone's benefit. And it was good. Let's pray.